Hello, good morning. Hi, how's it going? Let me just verify if everybody's here now. Let me just wait for a little more people to join the webinar. Hello there, Stephanie from Corona, California. Hope you're doing great today. I also have Ivan here from Irvine, California. How you doing, Ivan? Let's just wait for a couple more people to join us. Just okay, so let's begin. Please let me know if you guys are able to see the presentation on your screens. Great, perfect. Well, welcome everybody to the webinar. My name is Jay Ibarra here at Bridge Solutions Group, and I'd like to introduce the title of this webinar, which is Save Money in 2020 with a Simple Solution, which I like to call it Simple Solution to Outsourcing, Nearshore, Offshore, and in-house too. So Bridge Solutions Group, we've been growing alongside our clients, and due to that growth, we decided to do this series of webinars, to show the great benefits of this amazing industry. So let's jump into the topic. Okay, well, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is like I said, my name is Jay Ibarra. I'm business development executive here at Bridge Solutions Group. I've been working at Bridge Solutions for about a year now, and first of all, I'm 26 years old. I consider myself young. I've been doing a lot of sales. I'll do marketing too, and due to that, I kind of combined them together and started doing the business development. So I really consider that my experience gain here at Bridge Solutions Group has been growing alongside the company. I have offered great ideas to Bridge Solutions, and they've have implemented them. Like the webinar is one of them. So I think I have a lot of knowledge in this industry, a lot of knowledge in what we're offering, what we do here. And I also like to say that I am a very curious person because I like to investigate. I like to research new things, new horizons, and I like to do new things always. So that's basically what I do. That's basically who I am. I'm a very visionary guy. I like to do new things. I like to try new things. I like sports. I have a young daughter, So she's my motivation. So let's go into the real topic now that we're not strangers. Uh, I don't know if you guys know. Probably most of you guys know what it really is, but do you guys really know what outsourcing is? What is the true definition of outsourcing? So, outsourcing is a process in which companies and organizations hand over work to an outside vendor. So, any process that can be performed either on the phone or at computer can be totally outsourced. It could be remotely, it can be presential. It could go either way. It's as long as they're not working right in your offices. You're taking your operations to a different location. So that's basically what outsourcing is. And the concept of outsourcing concentrates on recruiting, essentially. So it's to replace a direct certain department in your company. You know, that is why outsourcing solutions are so prominent in companies these days. I mean, they provide firms with solutions to achieve a higher performance. So it's basically you can take the non-core functions of your business, of your operations, to an outsourced vendor, so they can perform the non-core functions, and you can concentrate in what really matters, what's the core functions. So that's one of the options of outsourcing, and it really has become an easy and cost-effective technique for huge companies around the world. It's being used now that the world's basically a digital world. So uh, in the developed countries, like the US, they like to outsource to barely developing countries. Let's say India, China. Uh, Lately, they've been using Mexico a lot as an outsourcing vendor. Uh, but there's actually, now that I said this, there's actually two questions that I like to put, and I like to be more specific in, which is the why and when to outsource in your company. So I like to go more into details in the why and the when. So first, we're gonna go with why. Why companies outsource? Why you think outsourcing is a strategy that you should implement in your business? So implementing these activities can help your business concentrate better on core functions and help you control your costs. So while the U.S. economy, to be honest, is at its best in years, unemployment rates actually go down, and it makes it a lot more complicated to find, qualified personnel. And due to that, the salaries go up. So that makes a little significant. Well, at the moment, you want to hire personnel, and you don't have the actual, you know, your business is not making enough to hire personnel that you need. So that's when outsourcing will become a great strategy for your business when you're growing, when you're trying to do more, trying to achieve more. Your goals in this year have increased, and you want to do more. So using outsourcing, it's a great tool to save money and increase performance and increase, your income. So I'm gonna go with the when. When is a good time to outsource? And I like to congratulate myself on this question because it's actually a good one. Since there's actually no specific time for a company to outsource. It is recommended to use this strategy once your business starts to grow or you're currently growing. And as I mentioned, this strategy also helps you when your business experiences hard times, and saving money in your overhead, in your personnel, and your processes is a must. So there's actually no specific time for your company to do outsourcing, but it's definitely a great tool that many companies should start implementing, as the top companies around the world have implemented already. So let's go with the benefits. There is a lot of benefits that outsourcing provides to to a company. I mean, there's a lot. There's tons of benefits, but I just reduced that list to some that I consider that the most important. So let's go with the first one, which is s- get access to skilled expertise. What does this mean? Uh, it's one of the primary reasons why business is outsourced. It requires when a company is requiring skilled expertise. Outsourcing gives you the access. Either if you're doing it in Mexico, India, China, it doesn't matter. They give you access to their best of the best. If Let me put an example here. If you're trying to get a digital marketer a professional digital marketer with years of experience at a low cost, of course. This is when outsourcing gives you that benefit. It's a great tool to find the best personnel ever, the best personnel possible for a very low fee. Not like the US. We know how salaries are in the US. We know that sometimes it gets complicated to get skilled personnel. So that's when outsourcing really gets really good for a company. Let's jump into the other point here. It's focus on core activities. It lets you focus on core activities when your workload increases with additional non-core functions and the quality of core activities suffers as your business grow. Well, outsourcing is when you will need to implement it. I mean, you can still outsource core functions. You can still outsource that. It's a no-brainer that if you outsource processes that are core to your business, saving money, I mean, it's it's good for everybody, right? It's good for your business. And when you focus on core activities, it gives you your performance grows, of course. Uh, your income grows. I mean, your company income, the bottom line grows. And if you just dedicate the outsourcing to a non-core functions, well, the processes will be better. The Like I said, the expertise of the personnel that you hire will be good, and your business will eventually grow and have a better performance. So going to another one, it's increasing your in-house efficiency. They're kind of connected here. For the one of focus on core activities to increasing in-house efficiency. I mean, increasing in-house efficiency after you allocate tasks to an outside outsourced partner, they share the workload of your employees. I mean, this allows you to develop an internal task force and use them more efficiently. I will be I will go more into detail about the efficiency of outsourcing later on in this webinar, but like I say, they are very connected. Once you outsource some tasks, you can focus on your team in your offices to do a process in a better way. So they can focus, like I said, on core functions and dedicate that time, dedicate those efforts to what really makes your business grow, to really important positions in your company. Let's go to another step, which is run your business 24/7. This is actually one of the strategies that outsourcing has implemented around the world. Not all of the outsourced vendors actually have this option, but it's a good option to consider. If you have a business that you're required to do sales and doing sales 24/7 will definitely benefit you, well, outsourcing allows you that. Some outsourcing vendors can help you have access to your employees, to your sales force 24/7 every year. I mean, every day of the year. That's a good option if you're trying to implement your business and run it 24/7. Well, outsourcing allows you that and gives you the opportunity to increase your sales and anything that you want to do 24/7. So another one, it's staffing flexibility, which you know, outsourcing certain independent tasks allows your business to maintain financial flexibility when there's an uncertain in demand. So you can scale up or down according to your needs. Uh, and outsourcing really gives you a low cost on your workforce. So let me put another example. If you need a graphic designer, in case if you're a digital marketer and you require a designer with great expertise and have the capabilities of doing your tasks, well, the staffing flexibility allows you to have them and perform the same processes as you require them to do, and you get to have access to speak with your personnel, to give them, to talk directly with them, have meetings, and interact with them. So that's what staffing flexibility actually means. So you get access to the person, to the personnel, and well, at the end of the day, they're all your employees, so you have access to your employees. Let's go to another one, which is to improve your service and delight your customer. This is actually one of the most important points, one of the most important benefits of outsourcing, which we all know that if you delight your customer, you will have loyal and faithful customers for life. So your outsourcing partner with the skill expertise will produce quality deliverables faster increasing your turnaround time to the customer, which is really great. With on-time deliveries and high-quality services to your customers, I mean, they will be delighted. They will love the quality of the service. They will like if you're fast, if you can solve their questions fast. I mean, they will be happy to the services that are being offered, and I mean, they're gonna be loyal customers. And like I said, if a customer is loyal, they'll be with you for life. Another one is cut cost and save huge. I'll say huge, not big, because you can really save a lot of money using outsourcing. I mean, like I mentioned, it's if you're using either nearshore, which I'll explain what nearshore is in a little bit, like Mexico or any South America country, uh, the salary wages are way lower than the United States, and the quality of the services are equal or better, depending on the outsourced partner you're choosing. So in this one, all the benefits I've mentioned, they come with the bonus of saving money, which is actually one of the most important points of outsourcing, right? That you will save money and your company will benefit from saving tons of money and at the same time having great expertise personnel working directly for you. So when your outsource service, like let's say an example, medical billing, call center services, all that to a low cost country, let's like say like Mexico, you'll be getting access to high quality services that are offered at a much lower cost. And to put an example, you can save at least 60% either in your employee overhead or in your processes. I mean, saving 60%, it's quite a number. And also the infrastructure of your business and that all the setup, all the computers, all those costs are covered by your outsource partner. I mean, you really only paid for the salaries and the time of your employees. You're not paying for anything else. Even the donuts and the sodas are on the outsource partner. I mean, everything's included with your outsource partner. Going to another one, it's to see an overall increase in your business. Once you're performing uh, with your outsource partner, let's say if you had four people in your offices and eight people in your outsource partner, which actually with those eight people in your outsource partner, you will be paying two salaries in the States. You'll increase your bottom line, you will increase your processes, and the time of your service will go up. And like I said in previous points, you will delight your customer. And like I said, well, once you outsource, you're really not going to go back. Outsourcing is a great strategy for businesses, and it allows you to perform better, to focus on important activities, to focus on core functions, and let your outsource partner dedicate time and efforts to your non-core functions. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not Superman and we can't do everything by ourselves. We need to delegate this to people that know, that have the skill and expertise on the task that you need to be performed. So let's go to another point, which is different types of outsourcing. There's tons, there's thousands of different types of outsourcing. I kind of just selected a few, which are the most important ones around the world. Like it's the IT outsourcing, professional outsourcing, process specific outsourcing, the BPO, which is the most famous one right now and the one I'm in right now, project outsourcing, offshore, nearshore, and the reshoring. I will explain some of them right now. The IT is outsourcing. Well, as the name it says, it's all the IT functions and solutions to your company remotely, obviously. I mean, anything that has to do with your server, with your internet, Wi-Fi, all those little things are included in the IT outsourcing. I mean, you have a qualified and with great expertise IT engineer working for you in a different location. That's what actually means with IT outsourcing is. The professional outsourcing, it's when you're outsourcing a really high level position and that requires specific tasks and processes. Uh, so that's like more specific. It's not very common, but there's a lot of companies that actually do it around the world. The process specific outsourcing, it's kind of like a BPO, which I'll explain right now. But this is only when you're trying to replicate a process. When you, let's say, mm, when you have a procedure internally in your business that you commonly refer to an employee inside, let's say, social media would be one. If you delegate social media to somebody in your office and that person is not qualified or doesn't have the skills to perform social media management, well, that's when it goes to process specific outsourcing. Your process, your way to do it on your business, you replicate it to your outsourced partner. That's actually what it is. The BPO, which is the one that I'm in right now, and it has become one of the most important outsourcing uh, type around the world. It's turning to be huge right now. It connects you with high quality personnel and focuses on the processes that your business needs help in. You can also implement a back office support in the BPO area. I mean, it's if let's put an example. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tijuana or Mexicali, which are border cities with California, with South California. Uh, they are a lot of BPO. There are a lot of BPO companies, and what they do, they have back office support and back office services to the companies in the United States. I mean, if your branch office is located in Riverside, California, for example, and you want to open a branch office, let's say in San Diego, why not do it in Tijuana or Mexicali, which is literally going to be cheaper? You're going to be saving a lot of money. The processes that you have in your company are going to be the same, and the way of do it, the way the people work here, I mean, it's going to be the same or better results to your company. I mean, the level of English with the Mexican personnel, the Mexican workforce in the border, it's really good. I mean, they have a lot of expertise, and I mean, they have bachelor degrees and everything. People have high qualities, high capabilities, and there's a lot of companies that have implemented a BPO and a back office support to their companies in the Mexican border since the proximity and everything. Project outsourcing actually refers to just one project. When your company is just trying to launch, let's say, an app, if you create applications for phones or computer, if you have that project, well, you delegate that to your outsourced partner and hire personnel, let's say temporary personnel, to just perform your project. In the offshore outsourcing, it's when you're doing outsourcing overseas, where you're taking your operations all the way either Europe, Asia, Africa, all those places. It's called offshore. The nearshore outsourcing is when you're taking your operations to a close country to the United States, which is Mexico and the rest of the Americas, South America, uh, Central America, all those countries. The reshoring is when you're already working with an outsourced partner around the world, either offshore or nearshore, and you take your operations back to the United States. That's what reshoring is. And I'll go more into detail right now. I'll explain you a little bit the differences of onshore, nearshore, and offshore. Onshore, it's when you have an outsourced partner inside the United States or in Canada. Canada is also included as onshore here. The nearshore is when you're doing it in the rest of the Americas, from Mexico to downstairs. And the offshore is when you take it overseas. To take it, to be honest, in my opinion, it's to take it to a different culture, different time zone, which is very important. And I put right there onshore versus nearshore versus offshore. I'm going to put the pros and the cons of each one of them. So you can have an idea, you can get an idea which one you think it's the best option for your business and which one is not. So I like to go more into detail on that. Like I said, there's a lot of different types of outsourcing, but these are the most important ones, the ones that you can count on when you need to outsource something in your business. I mean, like I said, I will explain the pros and the cons of each one. I will start with onshore. The onshore is when you're doing it in the States. It's basically like working in your offices, same salaries and same time zones. That's the pros of the onshore. And cons, well, it's often extremely expensive for some companies to employ full-time personnel. In addition, it might be difficult to resource the right talent because outsourced firms often have to take several projects simultaneously in order to justify the overhead of a full-time team. So if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to do more in your business, maybe open a branch office, well, doing it onshore, it might be a little complicated if you don't have that much money flow in your business. I mean, uh, let's go with the offshore. What are the pros of the offshore? Well, offers a service at a much lower cost than in the United States. That's the pro of doing it offshore. The cons? Well, language barriers often lead to confusion or delayed in projects. Also, opposite working schedules can cause problems with the quality of your service. I mean, who wants to review your KPIs or talk to your team at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning? No, right? That's Mimi time. That's when we sleep. So we don't want to take that time to actually work. That's why we have the other 18 hours during the day. So I like to say that offshore it's a good strategy, but if you really don't want to, try this and you don't want to have problems with the language barriers, with the culture, because there's a lot of difference too. I mean, there's a lot of companies that have implemented this and that have applied the reshoring one or doing it in the Americas. I'm gonna go with the pros with the nearshore, which in my opinion is one of the best ones and one of the most used nowadays. It's they share the same time zones. The difference from offshore, you get to have the same time zones or very close, a very close of a time frame. You know, they actually align culturally with your home country, which is the United States. They share the same culture in some cases, and you can expect a high quality of work as it's easier to align your business goals and objectives. The close proximity of nearshore firms allows it to make easier to make an on-site visit when it's necessary without incurring unreasonable unreasonable travel expenses. Have you considered what's the price of a ticket to fly all the way to India or China from, let's say, San Diego or Los Angeles? I mean, it's a little expensive. Uh, and you can easily travel to a nearshore firm to, compare, the cost of traveling, and, you can meet your team. They can meet you in your office in some cases too. I mean, either for training purposes or meeting purposes, it doesn't really matter. It's like traveling from, Los Angeles to Tijuana. It's about 4 hours. Let's say I saw that somebody lived in Corona, California. Well, Corona, California, from Corona to Mexicali, which is the closest nearshore area, it's about 3 hours driving. I mean, same time zone. It's a great benefit. Uh, and the cons from for out nearshore, well, you need a traveling visa, a passport to travel. That's actually the con, which I think we all have one. We're all capable of having a passport and going to a different country. I mean, that's basically the cons. And many companies find that nearshore offers the most benefits with the least amount of drawbacks. I mean, nearshore allows companies to leverage an affordable talent pool while receiving a high quality of work and limiting expenses due to travel or project delays. So, in my opinion, not because I work in a nearshore company, of course, it's because nearshore offers the most benefits. Close, time, price, culture, bilingual personnel, trilingual. There's a lot of expertise around these areas. Let's go with another one. How to improve your efficiency using outsourcing. I mean, it's no brainer. To be honest, it's no brainer. I will put some points there to be more specific on this. But if you are doing your process If you're doing a process of 8 people by doing it with 4 people, I mean, it's going to be a lot more, it's going to be complicated and you're not going to be efficient. But if you're doing a process of 8 people with 8 people, your process will be smooth and work efficiently. That's basically what it is, what outsourcing offers to a company, to a business. So the points are, it helps you reduce your and control expenses. You approach all around with prepared worldwide experts. I mean, you can make a successful use of your inward assets in the area of non-core functions and your complex work in-house. You can concentrate more on core business obligations and functions, and you can streamline your business operations with more efficient matters. I mean, like I said, and I don't really like to use this word, but I use it a lot, which is there is no brainer. If you want to save money with personnel, with high quality personnel, outsourcing, it's a tool that you must implement. It's something that not other industry offers. I mean, it lets you save money, it lets you have expertise for a very low cost, and it allows you to grow your business financially and physically too. I mean, because it's always good to have a branch office. I mean, it helps your motto a little bit when you're a CEO there. Have more offices. I mean, it boosts your motto. And well, as that's being said, I'd like to, well, with you guys, if you guys have any questions on what outsourcing is, on what outsourcing can help your business specifically in your area, go ahead. I'm all ears. I like to hear all of your questions, all of your doubts on this service. And if there's no more questions from you guys, well, I'll dismiss myself from this webinar, and I'd like to thank everybody. So I'll wait if there's any question here. Okay, I had a question from Ivan. He's asking, does outsourcing help you reduce your attrition? Well, that's a good question. You normally outsource vendors, they have a pipeline of candidates. And for this type of cases, to add the missing piece as soon as possible. I mean, when you have an outsourced partner and your personnel leaves you or get a different job, I mean, it's always good to have a pipeline of people willing to start working as soon as possible, ASAP. And that's what outsourcing offers. They get to have you on, they get to have personnel on a pipeline so you can select them as quick as you can in case of attrition. Is there, I hope that answers your question there, Ivan. Okay, another question. In overall, what is the main benefit of outsourcing? Well, it's mainly the savings. The savings in your expenses, your personnel, and your processes. That's mainly the point of outsourcing. It helps you and connects you with great expertise around the world, with personnel that can do more for less. And it gives you access to the best of the best around the world. Well, okie dokie, seems to be no more questions. Well, I'm gonna dismiss myself this time. I would like to invite you guys to join more of our webinars. We're kind of starting this. If I was too fast, if I was not being very clear, I will send you a follow-up email with my email. You can, I think you guys can see it in the screen right now. I have my contact information. You can contact me. Feel free to have a chat with me. Give me a phone call. Send me an email. I'll be there with you guys for any doubts, anything you guys need. if you guys want to go further into their service, because that's what we offer here at Bridge Solutions Group. We are a BPO company and nearshore staffing agency too. We have that service too. Uh, if you have any more questions, shoot me an email, give me a phone call, and I'll be there to help you guys. I'll be doing these webinars more specifically by industry every 2 months. If you guys are in the industry that which I will host in the next webinar, expect my email, expect my invitation. I'll be there. And well, that'll be it from my part today. I'd like to thank each and every one of you to join me today. It was a really honor. Like I said, I'm kind of new at this, so if it wasn't my best job ever, my best work ever, well, I apologize. I'll get better. But thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to give you my information today. And well, we'll keep in touch. Thank you very much for being here today. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. Have, have an excellent, excellent, excellent rest of the day. Thank you.